This is AK reminding you to, yo, subscribe to the show. Hook 'em up, Texas Longhorns fans. After a long time awaiting, Arch Manning has committed to the Texas Longhorns after visits to Athens and Tuscaloosa. Boom! He pulls the trigger just a few days after official visit on the 40 acres this past weekend. If you've been living under a rock the past couple of years, or you're not a fan of college football or college football in general, where have you been? You know the name brand, you know the last name Manning, you've heard of the first name Arch as his grandfather put this football pedigree name on the map. Welcome to the program, folks. Eyes on Texas channel, AK here. This is just going to be a quick reaction video to the #1 overall player. I've done multiple videos about this player over the past couple of years. Only very few programs could say they were all in on Arch. Only one can say they actually really were. We only had one offer out in the class of 2023, and that was Isidore Newman's Arch Manning. As our coach, Steve Sarkisian, knew his guy, had his guy, saw the vision, and went all in, put all of his eggs in one basket. They couldn't say that in Tuscaloosa, and they could not say that in Athens. As they could not sit down one-on-one with this young man and say, my vision, my thought process, what I has for you, and what I see you coming through only runs to the University of Texas, and I'm only offering you in the class of 2023. I'm the only one that can fully put faith that in you. That is what Steve Sarkisian sat down and said with Arch Manning, and that is what pulled the trigger. Arch Manning in the class of 2023 will absolutely reel in other players on his coattails, defensive players, offensive players. Offensive linemen are going to want to play for this guy. It just puts your heart more into it more. Obviously, pass catchers are going to want to come. Jonte Cook more than likely is going to come and commit to the 40 on this weekend. We already have Ryan Niblett in the fold. Big-time playmakers are going to want to play with big-time other playmakers. Iron sharpens iron. We all know that. And the sharpest iron in the class of 2023 is Arch Manning. The name, the pedigree will absolutely do wonders for the University of Texas. And other recruits will start to wonder if it's good enough for Arch and his family. I wonder what they really do got going on. I do know just this past weekend, we got a recruit to come to the University of Texas as an official visitor just on the basis of Arch himself, and that was it. We weren't even recruiting him at all, and we got a visit last week from a guy. So Arch Manning absolutely pulls in. Will he be able to seal the deal with Anthony Hill, the #1 defensive prospect that we have on the board coming in for an official visit this weekend? I'm not quite sure, but man, that's definitely going to turn some heads. Will it turn Anthony Hill's heads? Will it turn other major contenders' heads? As man, we do have some people on the 40 this weekend. We have some big time names. We have Jonte Cook. He is coming in on Saturday. We are going to have Ryan Niblett. He is already on board. And what kind of impact will these guys make, right? What kind of overall impact will the #1 overall player and prospect, and being that it is a Manning, how much will that factor into everything, right? How much will that make other players, other primetime 4- and 5-star players want to come to the University of Texas for a visit and possibly commit? So Friday, June 24th, we have 14 players coming into for an official visit this weekend, headlined by DeSoto wide receiver Jonte Cook II. He's going to be a 4-star wide receiver from DeSoto, Texas, 170 pounds. Anthony Hill, a 5-star linebacker, the #1 overall linebacker, someone who has been given Texas the runaround a little bit. Is he committed to the University of Texas as seen as a possible contenders? I'm not quite sure. Ryan Niblett, wide receiver, already into the fold. Darian Goulet, who is a outside linebacker /edge prospect. A little bit of bad news for young Darian is he is an explosive player, runs the track for his 3A state team of Marlin, Texas. He's a 2 100-meter runner and I believe a 400-meter runner, and he did injure his leg, so we don't know quite what shape he is going to show up whenever he does show up for his official visit, but very interesting to see. Moving on along, we have Jaden Chapman, who is also going to be on the 40 this weekend. What kind of major impact will that be? The offensive lineman coming from Harker Heights, Texas. Braden Shelby, the edge recruit that we have going right now, probably one of the biggest, largest prospects that we have at that position. Look at him for that jack linebacker, that main pass rushing position. We have Ian Reed from Austin Vandergriff, who is making his I believe he's a Clemson commit, so I'm not quite sure if he is going to be on the 40 this quiet weekend. Another pass catcher, 4-star, nationally rated 278. Jonah Wilson is also going to be on the 40. What kind of impact will that be of Arch Manning committing to the University of Texas? What will that make impact for him? Trey Wesner, the other commit for the University of Texas Longhorns, the 3-star recruited running back, 4-star recruited running back by 247 Sports Composite. He's also going to be on the 40, 5'11", 180 pounds. Couple of other offensive linemen, and Trevor Goolsby, already a TCU commit, 6'6", 280 pounds, and another large human, someone I'm very high on, from Wakeland High School in Frisco, Texas. We're looking at Connor Stroud is also going to be on the 40. What kind of impact will Arch Manning make on these other recruits? What kind of impact will it be known now that whenever they are making their visits to the 40, that young Arch is on board? He's already in the boat. What kind of impact, what kind of thought process is going to be going through their mind there? Billy Walton, another edge rusher, pass rushing specialist, 3-star recruit. He is going to be a commit to the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. But he was very high on the University of Texas before he did take his official visit up in Stillwater. And Andre Cole coming out of Mansfield, Texas, another primetime interior line prospect, another 3-star recruit. But man, Arch Manning, the #1 overall player, the #1 overall quarterback, someone who I have had my eyes on for quite some time, commits to the University of Texas and the Longhorns. Holla at you, boy! Everyone up in this video who's watching has to be horns up today, excited. With that being said, what are your thoughts? What are your prayers? What is the ceiling for this recruiting class now? It is most definitely going to be a top 5, definitely going to be a top 3 recruiting class. Now all the Longhorns have to do is back it up on the field. We cannot go 5-7 this year. Need to be at least above 500, need to be 9-3, something around that lines. That's where I see the Texas Longhorns. We do have some hard games coming up against Bama. We do have the traditional game against the University of Oklahoma every year. Gonna play them Cowboys up again in Stillwater this year. So we do have some big-time primetime games that we do have to play. The Baylor Bears, the defending champions of the Big 12, definitely got to play them boys again. But what are your thoughts? What are your prayers? Arch Manning coming to the University of Texas. This guy with 2 thumbs can't say enough. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and remember, keep your head in the swivel, your eyes on Texas. Hook 'em up. This is AK reminding you to, yo, subscribe to the show.